Hey guys, welcome to my channel. This is Rise. Say hi, Papa. So this is my little baby, and I am going to let you guys know about my labor and delivery experience. And delivery experience was hectic. Okay, so my baby Rise was delivered at 12:44 p.m. on April 24th. I don't know what it is with them fours, but whatever. So he was born, that's him in the background. He was born at that time on that day. He was supposed to come, I believe, 2 days before or a day before. So I had an appointment to get induced at 2 p.m. on the 23rd. So my water broke at around probably 11 in the morning, and I was at home still. So I'll give you the story on that. So my boyfriend comes in from work in the morning because he does work overnight. So he comes in the morning, and we're just having our regular routine. He's laying down to get him some rest because, we're supposed to go to the hospital. We don't know how long we're going to be there. So, because, this is my first baby, so we're not too sure on how long it's going to be, what's going to happen, nothing. So we're like, okay, we're going to get ready. Anyway, so we have our regular routine. He goes into the room, he goes lay down, he goes to sleep. I'm cleaning up, I'm getting ready. And once I'm done cleaning up, I sit on the couch and I feel like wet. So I'm like, I think I peed on myself. So I go to the bathroom and it's clear. So I'm like, I think I'm a water broke. So I run into the room, I wake up my boyfriend, and I'm like, I think my water broke, but I'm not sure. So he's like, and so he wakes up. I go take a shower. I am a little nervous, but not really, because all of my siblings have children, so I'm pretty aware, but I don't know any of them that their water broke. So I didn't know what's going on, but I didn't have any contractions. So I'm like, I know I'm supposed to have contractions, so the baby's not ready, so I'm gonna go take a shower, freshen up, get clean, so we can go. So I do that, and then we head over to the hospital. Now, during my whole pregnancy, I did have high blood pressure, and I had I forgot the word for it. I forgot the medical word for it, but basically when you have a lot of water in your I had a lot of water weight, and my ankles were the size of my thighs. I was 200 and something pounds. If you know me, you know I've been skinny my whole life. I've never been a big girl. So for me to gain that much weight, it was just ridiculous. And I wasn't eating healthy, so it's not fully my doctor's fault or the baby's fault or whatever. It is my fault too, partially. But by this being my first baby, I wasn't aware of too much, so I didn't know that was a problem. At the beginning of my pregnancy, I couldn't really eat. I was always sick, so I had lost weight at the beginning of my pregnancy, and I was really, really skinny. And so I went from I think it was 115, 120 to about 2 something. So I was big. I was big as heck. And yeah, so anyways, back to us going to the hospital. So we go to the hospital. I'm 200 and something pounds. They asked me how was my pregnancy, or how was I during my pregnancy, whatever. So I tell them. They asked me, they checked my blood pressure, and they're like, you have high blood pressure. So I'm like, yeah, I know. I've been having high blood pressure my whole pregnancy. I don't know what that's about. So, hey, not thinking nothing of it. So the nurses is looking at me like, okay. So I'm like, whatever. So then they tell me that I have whatever the medical term is, or whatever the medical term is, I have that as well with the extra water weight, whatever. So I'm like, yeah, I had that my whole pregnancy as well. I'm like, it's not in the paperwork and the documents, nothing. Like, my doctor didn't give you guys any information. So, you know, they're making excuses for her. They're like, oh, well, no, maybe it's going to be sent over shortly, whatever. So I'm like, okay. So, mind you, my doctor's not there yet. So, this is on the 23rd. So I'm in the hospital, whatever. I started feeling contractions. Mind you, at the beginning, I did not want to get the epidural. I thought I was a thug. I thought I was good. I thought I was going to be like, you know, I could take this. I'm good, whatever. No, that was not the case. I needed the epidural. I don't remember details on how many centimeters, whatever, but that shit, it hurt, okay? So, I get the epidural, and the only problem with the epidural that I would say is when you have to be still and you have a contraction coming, it's hard. That's all I would say. Other than that, it's a piece of cake, whatever. But my problem was I had the epidural, and I still felt pain. So I'm like, okay, maybe it's not working for me, whatever. So I'm gonna give it a couple more minutes. So I give it some time, and I told the doctors, like, you know, I don't think it's working for me. So they tell me give it time. So I'm like, okay, fine, that's fine. I'm gonna give it some time, and I give it time, and then my right side goes numb. I don't feel any pain on my right side, but my left side, I feel every contraction there is. It hurts. I'm in pain. It was ridiculous. It was ridiculous. So I'm telling him I feel it in my left side. I don't know what's going on, whatever. So they're like, I don't know, you know, they don't know what's going on. So I'm like, okay. I'm like, so something clicks to me. So I'm like, I do have scoliosis. So maybe that could be something like interfering with it. I'm not sure, but maybe that's it. But I feel pain in my left side. So they're like, oh, I didn't know you had scoliosis. So I'm like, I told my doctor, you know, whatever. So they're like, oh, okay, cool. So once again, my doctor's not communicating. And I'm not in the medical field. I don't know if doctors are supposed to communicate with the nurses, because I've had this hospital set since my 2nd month of pregnancy. So I assume that they're supposed to communicate. So I don't know. So anyways, so I told them I have scoliosis. They gave me another shot. But when they gave me another shot, it was a little bit of a problem, because the other shot had fully kicked in, but not from my left side. So my body, I'm not under the cover anymore. So my body is uncontrollably shaking, and I don't know what's going on. So I'm panicking. I'm like, I'm trying to be still, but I can't, and my body's just shaking. It was ridiculous. So they give me the other shot, and I go to sleep. So the next morning comes, and it's baby time. Like, my doctor's here finally. You know, she comes in, she checks to see how far everything is, whatever, and then she walks out. So I'm like, okay, fine. The nurses come back in around 12 something, and they're like, oh, it's time to start pushing. So I'm like, okay, like, it's time, you know. I'm getting scared, but I'm anxious because I want to see my baby. So I'm like, okay, so it's time. So the nurses are trying to get a hold of my doctor. So they're trying to get a hold of my doctor. Nobody know where she is. So the nurses are like, the baby is trying to come, so we're about to just do this. Forget it, you know. So I'm pushing. Then my doctor comes in. She asks me, no, she tells me, oh, you can wait a little bit. So the nurses are telling her, like, no, she cannot. The baby is coming. Then she's like, oh, we should get a C-section. She needs a C-section. The nurses are like, what? Like, no, she doesn't. Like, the baby is coming. If you give her a C-section, it's gonna be a problem. Like, what are you talking about? So she's like, okay, so she leaves. Mind you, all of this, the baby is coming. Like, I'm ready to push. I'm ready. I feel him ready to push. Okay, so I'm like, okay, whatever. So then she comes back in. No, before she comes back in, I'm pushing. So the nurses is helping me push. I have my aunt holding one leg, and I have my boyfriend holding the other. Mind you, I was 200 and some pounds, so I was kind of big as fuck. So yeah, they're holding my legs, we're pushing, and then my doctor comes back in, and she's like, can you hold on for a minute? I'm like, I can't hold on. Like, I feel him pushing. So I'm like, I'm screaming at her at this point. I'm like, I feel him pushing. He's coming, whatever. So I'm pushing, and she's doing whatever she's doing. And I'm like crying, and you know, like, it's painful. So I'm like crying. I'm like, I can't do this no more. I'm hot. I'm, you know, just expressing myself. And my doctor tells me, basically, you know, you got yourself into this, you can't give up, it's too late. And I'm like, I'm not trying to give up. Like, I'm just, you know, while I'm pushing, we're going back and forth, because I'm complaining because I'm in pain. Like, I feel like a normal person would complain about them being in pain while they're pushing their freaking baby out of their vagina, and my doctor is getting mad at me because I'm crying and I'm screaming. So I'm like, okay, whatever. And she, yeah, so that happens, and, oh, so she brings, Rise comes out, you know, like, whatever, and I'm holding him, I'm in love, but I'm still crying because it was a lot. So, he comes out, and it was good. Like, he was healthy, he was a healthy big baby, 8 pounds, some ounces, he was huge, okay, so that worked out. But my doctor was a complete, my advice for the women that are first-time mothers, please be careful with who you decide is your doctor, because some of them do not care. They don't. I don't know if it was a race thing. I don't know if she wanted more money, because I am aware that doctors do get paid more if they do C-sections. I'm not sure what the problem was with it, but throughout my whole pregnancy, it was just, oh, I'm missing something. It was a problem because the nurses told me, because I had high blood pressure, it could have been whatever the extra water was, it could have been a problem with my delivery. And by my doctor not letting me know, you know, you've been having high blood pressure your whole pregnancy, and this could be a risk to you, was like really just ridiculous to me, because it could have been something I could have prevented. It could have been something I could have done, something. But instead, she didn't do anything. So, ladies, please be careful and choose wisely on your doctor that you want to help you deliver a baby, because I felt so, like, disrespected. The way she was talking to me during my delivery, everything, like her coming in super late, her leaving when the nurses are telling her it's time for the baby to come, me telling her my baby is coming, and she's still walking out, going to lunch, and it was just ridiculous. So please make sure that you guys choose wisely on your doctor. And I will definitely be doing more YouTube videos. I would like for you guys to like and subscribe. I know this was a pretty quick video and it wasn't really that much, but I do hope that you guys enjoyed this video, and I do want to let you guys know that I will be doing a lot more videos, so please stay tuned, and bye.